It's Halloween, and here's a spooky and creepy Bitcoin and crypto update in the video. Is Microsoft buying Bitcoin soon? Hey, and welcome to the Crypto Owl. Today is October 31st, 2024, which means it's Halloween time. On Halloween, just like on other special holidays, people like to look back at the Bitcoin price. I would like to do that with you. For this, I have a Telegram group. If you are not in it yet, you can find the link in the video description. I have noted down the prices or published the list of where Bitcoin was during the last Halloweens. On all Halloweens, since Bitcoin's existence, the price has been noted. Since the recording of Bitcoin, we have seen that in 2010, the Bitcoin price on Halloween was 20 cents. Just think about that. Since then, it has risen extremely. And for all those who say Bitcoin only falls, if you had bought Bitcoin last Halloween, you would have more than doubled your money by now. In 2023, the Bitcoin price was around $4,500 and is now at $72,250. The whole thing was recorded at the change of the day from the 30th to the 31st. However, we have seen that during the day, the Bitcoin price did something different. Of course, let's take a look right away. At the same time, there are also exciting Halloween events. I have also posted them in our Telegram group. Just take a look. I don't want to promote this too heavily, but I simply wrote down the bonuses from the exchanges we are in contact with. And I believe with 2bit, there is a bonus of $500,000 if you trade there. And there is still, even today, so if I sign up today, there is also the $120 at 2bit. Feel free to take a look. You can find the link in the video description, get this post, in our Telegram group. You see here 30 Halloween. So, I announced this when Halloween was coming up. And I believe this 2bit bonus includes AirPods and a t-shirt. I think 2bit has the most impressive bonus. Feel free to check it out. All right, enough advertising for that. We are looking at the Bitcoin price, and I mentioned that the Bitcoin price has shown a red candle in the last 4 hours. We also have someone in our Telegram group who knows more about chart analysis or knows more about it and more. An opinion and insight were shared. And this person also mentioned that we might actually see a small correction now before heading to the next all-time high. This is, of course, very exciting because we slightly overshot the last all-time high when we take a look at this. Let's go to the daily chart and actually see here that we just barely missed the last all-time high. When we look at the line here, we see that there's still a little bit missing. You might see this quite well when the image is enlarged. There was still a tiny piece missing to reach the new all-time high. So it's actually just about to happen. I need to mark this. Then we are here near, or we are already near, the new all-time high. And now we are actually just waiting to get there. When we see this registered channel, which is always nice to show here in these chart patterns or in the chart in general, and then we see that the chart has indeed moved upwards. And we naturally have to go a bit down at some point to possibly break out from here, or of course to stay within this chart pattern because higher, always at the edge, or rather always above. Yes, one would have to draw a new one and then you wouldn't know where it is going. So as an example, in any case, the registration channel is always very nice to see where it is going. But then there was also the big question, why could it actually rise so drastically here? When we look at the daily chart, we see that there were two significant green daily candles. There is also an explanation for this, which I shared on Twitter, or rather X, and that is, there was a bloodbath among the short traders, no joke, and the people who had bet on shorts were hit hard, and this is a huge amount, during the night from the 28th to the 29th. So, where the Bitcoin price has risen extremely, and we can see that here on the 28th and 29th, a lot of short positions were liquidated, which allowed the Bitcoin price to shoot up. Respect, that was quite intense. We always get some messages asking where you actually got the cozy hoodies, and they are really cozy. Just a quick note, as I get asked about this often. Feel free to check out murmultier.io. There you can find our cryptofuel products. You can just take a look, and for anyone thinking, yes, they must be making a fortune. No, there is not a large profit margin with these prices. This does not mean that we are making thousands of euros just because you buy a hoodie. That is not true. At the same time, they offer many other products. The Orange Pill Club, which is more about Bitcoin stuff, very nice even. Avalanche Affirm, Polygon, Crypto Leader Game, which you always see in the background with me. Some are also asking where they can buy that. Just check out Momenty. There you can actually find almost everything that is in the background, except for the hardware wallet, which is on our shelf, or rather everything that is here. Feel free to take a look. And the Casper products are also doing very well. Yes, let's get to the main topic. Enough advertising, enough Halloween prizes, and so on. Let's take a look at what is currently happening at Microsoft. It's going off because something has been announced and Cointelegraph wrote about it a few days ago, but it has only now been properly shared as people don't always check news sites. Specifically, Microsoft will soon invest in Bitcoin. Shareholders, also known as stockholders, are to vote on an audit. This has become public, and there are options available for voting and so on. Overall, it is stated that by December 10th, a vote should be conducted on whether an audit will even take place. This means that on December 10th, it will not be decided whether to invest or not, but rather a survey will be conducted beforehand to determine if we should even consider checking whether investing in Bitcoin is worthwhile or if it is even possible. This could be very positive. Here is the excerpt, or rather the letter to the shareholders. This could be very positive, and I am quite curious to see how it all unfolds, or whether it actually comes to fruition. Let's be honest, Microsoft is software companies, or rather the computing giant Microsoft and so on, we all know it. Why not get involved in the digital currency of the future if Bitcoin establishes itself, which looks very promising, at least in terms of its investment function, but perhaps also as the payment currency of the future? One never knows what will happen in 20 or 30 years. I always say that I don't want to keep my Bitcoin for myself. I would rather pass it on to my children because I can imagine that they will understand its true value no matter where that value lies, whether it's in payments or if the value is at $1 billion per Bitcoin. I don't know. They can really tap into the true value, which I can personally imagine very well. And why shouldn't the big software company, namely Microsoft, also invest in Bitcoin? We know that for years, the white paper of Bitcoin was hidden in a secret file on Apple's iPhones. And some people have already said, yes, maybe Steve Jobs did have something to do with Bitcoin, or perhaps his children or the founders of Bitcoin were involved in the background. One does not know everything. Why has Microsoft not yet taken this step to buy Bitcoin or engage with it more closely? We also see that Nvidia and others are always building better graphics cards. And it is said that they have not yet entered the Bitcoin space because through the graphics cards, for example, through the mining rigs and so on, one would have expected them to engage more with Bitcoin, perhaps even invest and have more ambitions in that area. But of course, we do not know what is happening behind the scenes. But here it is about the company investing in Bitcoin. And for that, the shareholders need to vote, and this will take place on December 10th. So, a date that we all could remember if it is announced. This means we are checking whether we should even consider investing in Bitcoin. This could definitely be positive. A positive week may also lie ahead of us. We can definitely see that the presidential election is ahead of us. It will take place on the night from Tuesday to Wednesday next week. And then we can be very curious about where it is. Currently, the polls are on Polymarket. As mentioned, the topic of polling in the USA is always a bit tricky. They are currently at 63% for Donald Trump. And I strongly assume that a re-election of Donald Trump, meaning a re-election from the previous removal, would honestly trigger a positive candle for Bitcoin. I am quite sure about that. He has also announced that he wants to dismiss Gary Gensler, and that is definitely a positive and rather technically bullish sign for Bitcoin. That's why I can imagine that when it is announced that Donald Trump wins the election, and even by a large margin, we might see a green candle next week. And as mentioned, to stay on this main topic, December 10th could be another positive day if Microsoft announces that the review of a Bitcoin investment has been voted on by the shareholders. Could be very positive. Next week, we also have something very interesting. You can take a look at it. I voted. CoinEx offered us, hey, do you want to make a bonus for your people, for your community? Which bonus would you like to have? Then I said, yes, KLC20 tokens are currently interesting. I simply let our community in the Telegram group vote on which KLC20 token they would like to have as a bonus at CoinEx. And yes, the choice mainly fell on Nacho and also Casper. I am very curious. I think it will mainly be Nacho. However, it was also mentioned that there might be a bit of a Casper bonus. So, Casper bonus, feel free to check it out. I can already tell you, yes, if a bonus comes, I don't need to sign up right now. I can tell you, go ahead and sign up for CoinX now. Feel free to take this bonus. It will be coming your way next week. I will let you know again. You will, of course, find out through our social media and Telegram group. There is a bonus. You simply buy spot for $100. That's what it says so far. I hope they don't change anything else. For $100, just buy any cryptocurrency at CoinX and receive an additional bonus of $5, as it currently states. For example, Nacho or Casper, one of the two. So that means if you're interested in investments, like in Bitcoin, for example, or if you just want to get a little bonus with KRC20 tokens, check out CoinX. CoinX is a simple cryptocurrency platform. You can easily buy and deposit there. Feel free to take a look. This is how it looks. You can easily use Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, bank transfer, SEPA to purchase cryptocurrencies here. Buy USDT, USDC, and BTC. Then select Euro or your required currency at the top and then click on BT. Here, if you want to shop, you choose your price, go to this third-party provider, and then you can easily purchase cryptocurrencies on CoinX through the payment platform and payment options. But also exactly the other way around, namely asking, withdrawing, or in this case, depositing. And then you can swap cryptocurrencies. This is possible here with the over 1,000 cryptocurrencies that CoinX has available. You can see the list is long. For example, USDC to BTC or others. You can see here, these are the most popular swap pairs currently. Bitcoin and USDT makes sense. The big candle is right there. At the same time, you can of course buy spot normally. And as I said, either buy spot for $100 next week or future trading for $100 is up to you, whatever you feel like. And then there is a $5 bonus in a KLC20 token, probably Nacho. Let's check it out next week. You can buy spot here as usual, but you can also trade futures. And as you can see, copy trading is available here. That's why CoinX really offers a good opportunity with over 1,000 cryptocurrencies. You can find the link for registration and also cashback in the video description or in the pinned comment. Check it out, yeah? They have already listed some KRC20 tokens. I'm making a small list. Feel free to take a look if you're interested in KRC20 tokens. They are all available at CoinX so far. Another interesting piece of news, we have seen Microsoft. In this video, it is also quite difficult to distinguish because they both start the same way. Microsoft could potentially invest in Bitcoin. At least you can check that out. But someone who is extremely invested in Bitcoin, and this is no secret, is Microsoft. And they made a huge announcement. Just think about what is being planned here. Specifically, Microsoft announced yesterday that they plan to purchase Bitcoin worth an incredible $42 billion in the coming 3 years. That means they are buying Bitcoin for $42 billion within 3 years. Michael Saylor announced this very publicly 19 hours ago. Just think about that. That is a huge amount. This is a bold announcement because, in principle, you are now letting it be known that you will be buying no matter what the price is. You have to consider that too. They don't care whether the price is at 100,000, 200,000, or 20,000. It doesn't matter to them at all. They want to invest $42 billion in Bitcoin. At the same time, Microsoft could be considering whether to invest in Bitcoin at all. At the same time, more companies could invest in Bitcoin. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin ETF continues to rise along with the investments in it. This means that we clearly see the institutional involvement. Well, with Microsoft, it's not a huge surprise, but $42 billion is an extremely high amount. One has to think about that. Therefore, we see that more and more institutional companies or large investors are investing in Bitcoin, for example, through ETFs. In my opinion, that's a bold statement. I am very curious to see how this all unfolds. Then I have something else to share. I was asked a while ago, but unfortunately I don't have time. However, if you are from Berlin and the surrounding area, feel free to stop by. I was asked if I would like to attend the Ledger 10-year anniversary event. They have a small event, feel free to stop by. It runs from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Do come by. What's interesting here is that there is a small raffle for the attendees. I hope there is a Ledger Flex or maybe even a Stacks available. That would be great, of course. And they also have new products. Maybe you have seen that. New colors. I'm a bit annoyed, I must say. I recently bought a new S Plus because I wanted a new color, and Just a new device. I would have liked to have that one. Here is the blue one, which I find very stylish, but the green one is also nice. You can see the new devices here, and maybe there's a small raffle going on, so feel free to stop by. BTC Echo has announced that you can come by or register for the event. Unfortunately, I can't make it because the effort is just too great just to jet to Berlin for a few hours of an event. Just to compare, so you understand, yes, Stefan can't come because we are talking about a 5-hour event, and I would be traveling for 15 hours, plus I need a hotel because that's really crazy. In total, 15 hours, and then we are talking about travel time. And it could quickly turn from 15 hours to 17, 18, and so on because of Deutsche Bahn and so forth. Well, good. So, if you are from Berlin and the surrounding area, feel free to stop by. You can find all the links in the video description, just like always for everything I talk about here. At the end of the video, I have something funny. I had to laugh a lot and I really wanted to share it as a message. I found it very funny because, in principle, you are an influencer, you make videos about cryptocurrencies, you report on them, you showcase them, and you also give investment tips by saying, watch out, this Casper is currently taking off, or this is a new cryptocurrency, take a look at it, and so on. And of course, it's the same for us when we are approached privately, for example, at crypto events, or even when we are out and meet someone who knows, you are involved with cryptocurrencies, then the question always comes up, say, do you have anything new? Can I buy something? What should I buy? Throw something out there. And the founder, I found it so funny. The founder of Binance and the former CEO. Namely CZ, we all know him. He was in custody in the USA. He announced at an event that the inmates in prison asked him, hey, CZ, what should I actually buy? Very funny. But now a question for you, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you have been or are a holder and CZ is in prison with you and you know him because you know exactly who the boss of Binance is, should I ask him what cryptocurrencies I should buy? I mean, in the end, it will probably be said BNB because it is the currency of cryptocurrencies from Binance. But I don't really think he said anything at all. So I definitely find it very interesting. Feel free to write in the comments what you would have done. Would you have asked him, and would you really have bought it blindly if he had said anything? He probably mentioned BNB and Bitcoin, and then people say, yeah, I've already done that. That's boring. I want to make 100x here tomorrow. So tell me, when was that? I found it very funny. I just wanted to bring that up briefly. Okay, let's get to the conclusion. And of course, a question for you. Specifically, 42 billion in investments from Microsoft. Kasper Summe. Do you see it that way too? Write it in the comments, and they buy at any price. Price? This could definitely boost the price, but for those who have been following it lately, their tactic is always to buy at different points, meaning not points in terms of chart patterns, but rather moments in time. So they buy every couple of minutes for a few €100 or dollars so that no one notices. So far, what Microsoft has done has not been very noticeable from a technical analysis perspective, but it is definitely a bullish message that they are investing in Bitcoin regardless of where the price stands. I am very curious about Microsoft and also about your opinions. Could you imagine that one of the largest software companies in the world at some point invests in Bitcoin, at least publicly? What the executives and the people behind it are doing, or perhaps even the shareholders of Microsoft who may have already invested in Bitcoin, we do not know. However, the company could definitely be a positive news source if this here. It is announced that I will at least check it out. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments. And I still tell myself that a new all-time high could still be on the horizon this year. Write in the comments how much, 100,000, even more. And don't forget about our free Telegram group. I just noticed that the video has become extremely long. I was in a talking mood. There were also a few topics and interesting bonuses, so feel free to check the video description. There might be something for you. And next week, remember the CoinX bonus. With that said, I say thank you very much for watching if you have been with us until now. In this sense, see you in the next video.